Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're passionate about music or just want to take your home audio setup to the next level, you're in the right place. Today, we're checking out the 5 best stereo amplifiers, all tested for real-world performance and backed by tons of positive customer reviews. So, whether you love that warm analog sound or crave pure digital clarity, let's find your perfect match. And of course, if you want to see updated prices or more details, I've left all the links down below in the description. So, let's get started. Number 5. Douk Audio A5 Mini TPA 3255 Stereo Amplifier. The A5 Mini is built around the TPA 3255 chip, which is known for high efficiency and ultra-low distortion. You're looking at 300 watts per channel at 4 ohms, that's serious power for something this compact. And the sound? Distortion levels as low as 0.2%. That means every detail of your music stays pure, untouched, and alive. One of the coolest features is the adjustable high-pass filter. You can fine-tune the low frequencies between 30 and 200 Hz perfect if you're using bookshelf or studio speakers and want to clean up the bass to make the mids and highs shine. It's a small touch, but it makes a big difference in clarity. And then, there's the op-amp rolling design. For those who love tweaking their audio gear, this is a dream. You can literally swap out the op-amp chips in seconds, no screws, no disassembly. Pop in your favorite op-amp, like the Sparkos or SX52B, and instantly change the sound signature. Want more warmth? More sparkle? More punch? It's all in your hands. Now, something that surprised me: the design. Douk gave it a tempered glass top with customizable LED lighting inside. You can change colors, adjust the glow, and it just looks futuristic sitting on your desk or next to your DAC. It's not just an amp, it's a statement piece. The internal build quality is also worth noting. It uses a 4-layer gold-plated PCB with PFFB technology. In simple terms, that means the amp corrects its own signal in real time to reduce distortion and improve accuracy. The result? Stable output, cleaner frequencies, and better control over your speakers. When I read through real customer reviews, a few things stood out. People love how easy it is to use. Right out of the box, plug it in, connect your RCA inputs, and it's ready. One user mentioned it powered his Harbeth SHL5 speakers, which are not exactly easy to drive, and the A5 handled them effortlessly. Another said it outperformed his previous IEMA S7, especially in clarity and imaging. Of course, it's not perfect. Some folks wished it had tone controls or slightly higher power output. But that's the trade-off. It focuses on purity over complexity. If you want the truest sound, with room to customize using different op-amps or external EQ, this is your amp. And here's something to keep in mind: it runs efficiently, but if you push it hard, it can get warm. The good news? The A5's entire body acts as a heatsink, so it handles high output very well without thermal shutdowns. So, who is this amplifier for? If you love hi-fi audio, compact gear, and customization, the Douk Audio A5 Mini is an absolute gem. It's great for small home setups, desktop audio, or even studio monitoring. It gives you the flexibility to shape your sound, the power to drive real speakers, and the look to make any setup stand out. And at the end of the day, that's what makes the Douk Audio A5 Mini special. It's not just another amplifier, it's a tool for people who listen deeply. For those who want to hear music the way it's meant to sound: alive, emotional, and true. Number 4. Fosi Audio BT28 Pro Bluetooth Amplifier. The BT28 Pro might look like a simple desktop amplifier, but when you power it on and play your first song, it feels like your music just wakes up alive, clear, and full of energy. So, let me tell you a quick story. I was looking for something that could bring my old bookshelf speakers back to life, something affordable, compact, but still powerful enough to fill my living room with rich, detailed sound. And that's when I found this, the Fosi Audio BT28 Pro. When I first unboxed it, the build quality immediately stood out. The full aluminum body feels premium, solid, minimal, and beautifully finished. You can tell it's not just another cheap amp. And those bass and treble knobs, smooth, precise, and responsive, give you full control over your sound. Want more warmth? Boost the bass. Prefer clarity and sparkle? Add a touch of treble. Now, the heart of this amp is the Texas Instruments TPA 3255 chip, a real beast in the Class D amplifier world. It delivers up to 300 watts per channel, and no, that's not marketing fluff. This chip provides crystal clear sound with ultra-low distortion. So what you get is detail, pure detail. Every instrument, every vocal nuance, every beat feels real and balanced. And if you're someone who loves clean setups, no messy wires, you'll appreciate the Bluetooth 5.0. It connects fast, stable, and clear within about 50 feet. I've tested it with Spotify, Tidal, even YouTube Music. The sound stays consistent, no drops, no weird noises, no pop sounds when connecting. Another thing I love, Fosi thought about customization. You can actually swap out the op-amp chip for a different one to tune the sound to your taste. That's something you usually find on much more expensive gear. It's perfect for people who like to experiment with sound flavor. And yes, it's efficient too. The BT28 Pro uses an energy-saving circuit that shuts off cleanly when idle, no hums, no power drain, no heat. But what's it really like to live with it? Well, I connected it to a pair of JBL Control 5S first, and wow. The soundstage opened up wide, bass hit with confidence, and vocals felt incredibly clear. Then I paired it with a subwoofer, and it handled that easily too. Whether I was listening to jazz, electronic, or even classic rock, this amp kept everything balanced and tight. Now, let's be honest, a few users mention that it sounds a bit clinical compared to vintage amps like Marantz. And that's fair. It's not overly warm or colored. Instead, it's clean and precise, like hearing your music exactly as it was recorded. For modern tracks, especially electronic, hip-hop, or acoustic, it's a dream. And here's what others are saying. One user powered their Castle Knight 2 bookshelf speakers and said it performs way above its price. Another reviewer paired it with a 48V10-8 power supply and said it was completely noise-free even with big speakers. That's impressive for something that costs under $100. If you're looking for a budget-friendly hi-fi amplifier that's powerful, silent, and easy to live with, this is the one. Perfect for desktop setups, small home theaters, or anyone who wants to breathe new life into their old passive speakers. And here's the kicker, the BT28 Pro isn't just about specs. It's about experience. That feeling when you rediscover your favorite song and suddenly hear details you never noticed before, that's what this amp delivers. So if you've been on the fence about upgrading your sound setup, this might just be the first real step into the world of true hi-fi. Number 3. Douk Audio T9 Mini 6E2 Stereo Turntable Preamplifier. The first thing you notice about the Douk Audio T9 Mini 6E2 tube preamplifier isn't even the sound, it's the look. Those glowing vacuum tubes with their gentle, warm light immediately pull you in. It's like stepping back into a golden era of audio, but with modern precision and convenience. When I first powered it on, those 6E2 magic eye tubes came to life, dancing with the rhythm of the music. They don't just look beautiful, they react to the sound, giving you a dynamic, visual pulse that matches what you hear. And you can even switch the color between a cool green or a warm orange, depending on your mood or your room's vibe. It's more than just listening, it's an experience. Now, the T9 isn't a power amplifier, it's a preamplifier. That means it's designed to refine, shape, and elevate your sound before it reaches your main amp or active speakers. If you're using a turntable, this thing is a gem. It supports both MM and MC cartridges, so whether you've got an entry-level or high-end vinyl setup, it's ready to go with just one switch. The built-in phono stage converts your delicate record signal into a clear, full-bodied line-level sound that feels rich and alive. And if you're not using vinyl, no problem. There's a standard RCA input that lets you connect your phone, tablet, PC, or DAC. It brings warmth and depth to digital audio too, so even your streaming tracks sound more analog and natural. One of my favorite parts is that it also has a 3.5mm headphone output, with enough power to drive headphones from 16 to 300 ohms. So if you like late-night listening sessions, you'll love how it handles detail and texture. Vocals become smoother, instruments gain a touch of life, and the bass feels rounder without being muddy. Plus, the tone controls let you fine-tune your treble and bass by ±10 dB, so you can shape the sound exactly how you like it. Now, let's talk build quality. The all-metal body feels premium CNC aluminum, solid knobs, and gold-plated connectors that ensure your signal stays clean. There's no cheap plastic anywhere. It looks and feels like something that belongs in a serious hi-fi setup. Of course, it's not just looks and specs. The sound, that's where the T9 really shines. The default 6A2 tubes give a sound that's warm, natural, and full. It doesn't try too hard to be analytical, instead, it's musical. You'll notice vocals are smoother, the highs are silkier, and even old recordings sound more alive. It's not just sound you hear, it's sound you feel. And if you love experimenting, the T9 even lets you swap out the tubes. You can try 6K4, EV93, or 6BA6 for different sound flavors. It's a small upgrade path that can really change the tone of your setup, giving you flexibility and fun. But let's be real, no product is perfect. Some users mention that the Magic Eye tubes sometimes need small bias or gain adjustments to get them perfectly balanced. And others wish there were more color options for the tube lights, maybe blue or purple. Still, these are minor things when you consider the value. Because here's the truth, for the price, this little preamp punches way above its weight. Many users say it transformed their system, making their soundstage wider, voices more natural, and even inexpensive amps sound refined. It's the kind of upgrade you can hear instantly. So, if you love music that feels alive, if you want a piece of equipment that looks as good as it sounds, and if you're chasing that warm, emotional, analog feeling, the Douk Audio T9 Mini 6E2 Tube Preamplifier is an incredible place to start. It's not just about listening to music. It's about enjoying it visually, emotionally, and sonically. And once you hear that glow in the dark warmth coming through your speakers or headphones, it's hard to go back. Number 2. Juson Audio JTA100 and Amplifier. The Juson Audio JTA100 is an upgraded 200-watt integrated hybrid tube amplifier, and that hybrid part is important. It combines the warmth of vacuum tubes in the preamp stage with the power and precision of a transistor amplifier. The result? You get that rich, analog warmth that makes vocals sound alive, guitars sound emotional, and bass feel full, but with the clean, controlled power that keeps your sound crystal clear. Now, one of the first things that stood out to me and to a lot of reviewers is just how versatile this amp is. You've got Bluetooth 5.0, optical, coaxial, RCA, AUX, and even a phono input for turntables. So whether you're spinning vinyl, streaming from your phone, or connecting a DAC, this amp adapts beautifully. And here's something a lot of people overlook: the headphone output on this thing is seriously capable. It comes with a high-low gain switch, which means it can drive headphones from 16 ohms all the way up to 600 ohms. Even studio-grade headphones sound detailed and natural. There's real power and finesse here. You feel the music rather than just listening to it. The sound itself? Honestly, it's the kind of sound that makes you want to sit down, close your eyes, and just listen. There's that tube warmth, that lush mid-range that makes vocals feel human again. The highs are smooth and never harsh, while the bass, especially with the subwoofer output, feels deep, rich, and tight. What's great is that you have independent treble and bass knobs, so you can shape your sound exactly how you like it. Maybe you want more sparkle in your highs or a warmer, deeper tone. You can fine-tune everything easily. And let's talk design for a second. The LED display and the VU meter give it such a modern yet vintage vibe. Watching those VU needles dance as the music plays, it's a small thing, but it really adds to the experience. It's not just an amplifier, it's a piece of art for your listening space. Now, here's what real customers have said, and this is where it gets interesting. One person said, "You get the true tube sound from this product. It punches above its weight." Another said, "The valves give such a colorful sound, I couldn't be happier." And many agree it's not the most expensive tube amp, but it delivers a sound that rivals gear several times its price. One owner even paired it with a Clip Sharpie 600 MI and an Audio-Technica turntable, and described the experience as addictive. They found themselves listening more than ever before, and that's really what a good amp should do. It should make you want to listen more. Now, if you're considering this amplifier, here's what you should think about. If you love warm, analog sound, if you want something that brings emotion and life back into your music, and if you appreciate a blend of vintage charm and modern convenience, this amp checks every box. It's perfect for vinyl lovers, digital streamers, and even headphone enthusiasts who crave high-quality listening. The Juson Audio JTA100 isn't just an amplifier, it's the heart of your home audio system. It makes every note more alive, every track more personal, and every listening session something you'll actually look forward to. Number 1. Marantz PM6007 Integrated Amplifier. The first thing I noticed when I powered on the Marantz PM6007 was how alive my favorite songs suddenly felt. You know that moment when music doesn't just play, it breathes, it fills the room with warmth and clarity you didn't even realize you were missing? That's exactly what this amplifier does. Now, before we dive deep, let's be real, there are a lot of amplifiers out there. Yamaha, Sony, Cambridge, Fosi, they all have their loyal fans. But the Marantz PM6007, this one has a soul. The design itself feels premium, solid build, elegant faceplate, and those classic Marantz knobs that give off a sense of refinement and nostalgia. Inside, it's powered by a toroidal transformer, something usually found in much more expensive amps. And that makes a difference you can actually hear. It delivers cleaner power, less distortion, and a kind of smoothness in the sound that just feels effortless. When I switched over from a Yamaha AS301 to the PM6007, the difference was night and day. The Marantz had this incredible separation, the vocals stood right in front of me, the instruments spread beautifully across the room, and there was this warmth that just felt real. That's partly thanks to the AK4490 DAC chip, which handles digital audio up to 192 kHz or 24-bit. If you listen to high residential audio, that's a big deal. It means every small detail, every whisper, every note of reverb stays intact. But let's talk about why this amp is so loved by longtime audiophiles. Marantz has been doing this for decades, and every component in the PM6007 is meticulously tuned by sound masters. They don't just throw parts together, they shape the sound signature to deliver that signature Marantz warmth, a balance between richness and clarity that very few brands ever get right. For vinyl lovers, it comes with a built-in phono stage that's surprisingly good. If you've got a turntable like a TAC TN300 or something similar, this amp will make your records sing. And if you're streaming or connecting digital sources, you've got 2 optical and 1 coaxial input, plus 5 analog inputs, all gold-plated for better signal transfer. Basically, whatever setup you've got, the PM6007 can handle it with style. Now, one thing to consider, this amp is rated at 45 watts per channel at 8 ohms, or 60 watts at 4 ohms. So, it's not a brute force powerhouse, but trust me, it doesn't need to be. It's designed for quality, not quantity. In a medium-sized room, say around 12 by 16 feet, this thing will fill the space with stunning detail and presence. Customers who switched from other brands often say the same thing: no more hum, no more harshness, just clean, beautiful sound. One review that really stuck with me said, "I've been in love with Marantz for over 30 years, and this amp proves once again they are the best." That's the kind of loyalty only true performance can earn. Now, it's not perfect. There's no switched outlet on the back, which some people miss if they like to power multiple devices together. But honestly, when you start listening, you'll forget about that. So, who is the Marantz PM6007 for? It's for the listener who values musicality over numbers, someone who wants to sit down, close their eyes, and actually feel the performance. If you appreciate craftsmanship, if you care about the emotional connection in your music, this amp will deliver every single time. I think that's why, even after decades, Marantz still holds a special place in the hearts of music lovers. It's not just about watts or specs, it's about emotion, texture, and that moment when you rediscover your favorite song like it's the first time again. If you're ready to experience music the way it was meant to be, heard alive, detailed, and warm, the Marantz PM6007 might just be the amplifier that makes you fall in love with listening all over again. So there you have it, the 5 best stereo amplifiers that deliver incredible sound, real performance, and great value. Which one's your favorite? Drop your pick in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're rocking at home. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss the latest reviews and audio gear updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned, and keep the music playing.